Continue with this. Now that I have these cut and worked out here, I'm going to do the same thing but on my black layer. And so I'm going to split this first one here from that, and I'm going to do the same for this one. And so now these two bottom pieces below my datum line are going to just be deleted. And now I'm going to use that datum line to split and do the same exact commands again. And then I'm going to join those together. And draw a new line from 0, 0, 0 straight across. And then split that line. And join together. And so now overall we should have our two directionalities taken care of here. So now once we've achieved this, we can select all of this. And we could have done this in front view. I just chose to do it in top view. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to take all the curves and I'm going to rotate them three-dimensionally. Make sure your object snaps are on for your endpoints. And I'm just going to rotate it up. So now what we need to do is we need to just choose. Let's start with one direction first, so I'm going to turn off my red layer and just have these ones. And I just need to choose an incremental dimension that I'm going to move these away from the center line here. So I'm going to select everything. And I'm going to move them, let's see here. Let's go 3 feet. Now I'm going to deselect the largest one and then go ahead and move again and go 3 feet. And again 3 feet and just keep deselecting. Oops. And moving the last one 3 feet. So you should have something kind of like this. Now this is very similar to the contours that we were dealing with when we built the site model. You could think of these as contours. So now that we have this side created, now let's deal with our red side. And let's do the same thing, but let's push everything the other direction. And I'm going to select all of them except for the outside one. I'm going to leave that one where it is. And I'm going to move all these 3 feet. Okay, so I'm going to select all of these and I'm going to continue to move them 3 feet. And then deselect, move 3 feet. Deselect, move 3 feet. And move 3 feet. And move 3 feet. So this is the shape that I created.
So you joined them?
Yeah, I went ahead and I joined that curve at the bottom and I joined it. And then I redrew another curve along the 0 point and I split it off the next one. And then I joined those. And I did that process for both the black and the red.
What is the distance between each one?
So the distance between each one of these is 3 feet. It looked good, I kind of just eyeballed it, but if your object is a lot larger or smaller than mine, that might not be the best dimension. I did 3 feet. I tried to do it just something that wasn't too far away from each other. So see if 3 feet looks good to you. If not, maybe go 4 feet. Okay, so now that we've got our curves out here, this is pretty crude actually. If you wanted it to look really nice and smooth, you definitely want to refine this and probably create more profiles. As you notice in the Burnham Pavilion. There are a lot of profiles there, and they are all pretty close in shape with each other. See if I can't find that. So they're all almost the same shape, and so they kind of carry the same characteristics throughout, and they're pretty close together as well, and there's a lot of them. In my example, you can see it's a lot more crude, but it's going to give you the same effect. And so let's begin to loft these together. And so I'm going to change the layer here to the purple one so I can loft to those. And I'm going to select the first two curves here, and I'm going to hit enter. Make sure that the arrows are facing the same direction, and then I'm going to hit enter again and hit OK. It looks like I got that loft going. Now I'm going to select the next two and loft those. And then I'm going to loft these. And I'm just going to kind of go through the process here and keep lofting. And as soon as I get to this one with a flat bottom, you're going to notice something that happens there. So when I try to loft these two together, I get this crazy weird intersection. And even if you go through all the different options, still, even though this one's close, it looks like it's still messing up right here. And even if I go to straight sections in preview, still it does not like that. And so we need to figure out why that's an issue. And so what I'm going to actually do is just turn on the control points for both these. And you can see the amount of control points this one has, which has the flat line on the bottom. It's got a lot of control points down there. And it's trying to figure out how to do a straight line with a curve. And so that's sort of our issue. And so the best way to resolve this is let's take this curve that has a flat bottom and let's rebuild it. So right now it's at 20 and 7. I bumped this up to 50. So I went 50 control points and I left it at 7 and I hit OK. You'll notice that it does shift the line slightly. But now it's created it, or turned it into one curve instead of two curves joined together. So now if I try to explode this, you can't, because it's taken that joined straight line in the bottom and the profile, and it's made one curve out of them. So now when I try to loft these two together, let's see if we can get a better result from it. And it looks like it's working. And I'm on the wrong layer here, so that's why it came out that way. So I'm going to actually go to the correct layer. And it looks like that's working. So it seems like now we're probably going to have to rebuild this one as well, because if we try and loft these together, we're probably going to get the same issue, and look, we did. So let's rebuild this one. And I'm also going to do 50 in that one, and then I'll loft them together. And it looks like it's wanting to do it. So that's good. Now we can keep going here. It looks like we're going to have to rebuild this one as well. And the other one that actually touches the ground plane will rebuild too. So now that all those are rebuilt, we can continue lofting through. And once I make it to the end here, I'm just going to select all three and loft them together. You can see I've gotten my completely lofted surface. And it's not very pretty. If we took more time to create something that was a little more architectural, that we get a better example of this. Now that I've done that, I actually want to show you something that can, so these are, yeah, I want to show you something else.